And the Detroit Tigers take the field here this afternoon as we welcome you back to Comerica Park on a beautiful day for baseball here in the Motor City. Tigers and the Pirates again today. If the Tigers combine for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow and get a free small order of curly fries. How about the Pirates starting lineup here this afternoon? It is presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Jose Tabata leads it off. He's in right field, followed by Neil Walker at second base. Andrew McCutcheon having a pretty good series. He's in center field. Pedro Alvarez, the DH. Garrett Jones at first. Harrison at third. Barajas, McLeod, and Barmes, the bottom 3. Meanwhile, Max Scherzer today is presented by Soaring Eagle Casino.
And Max trying to get back on track after facing the White Sox 5 days ago and taking a no decision in that game, even though he gave up 5 earned runs. He had a start against his Pittsburgh Pirates team last year in Pittsburgh, so he's familiar with some of these guys. Beaumont Health System is the sponsor of our defensive alignment. It's Dirks in left, Kelly in center, Bosch is in right, Cabrera, Peralta, Rayburn, Fielder in the infield, and Alex Avila catching the 3rd game of this 3-game series.
On an 82-degree day here in Detroit, we are ready for baseball. Here's the first pitch of the ball game from Max Scherzer. It's in for a strike. On the leadoff man, Jose Tabata. Tabata, Walker, and then McCutcheon in the top of the first inning. 1 out of 5 in the series for Tabata, and he flies the next one to right field. Backing up is Brennan Bosch, and 1 gone. Good start for Max, who will now face Neil Walker. Pirates won the 2nd game of the series yesterday after the Verlander gem on Friday night. Walker 2 out of 7 in the series, batting .261 this year. Playing second base again today for the Pirates. Here is Scherzer's pitch, and it's swung on and missed. 0-1.
Good sign for Max. 3 real good fastballs, all located in the low 90s on the outer edges.
Now the motion, the 0-1, and the same result, only at 96. 0-2.
Max started to tinker with a sinker ball in spring training and really threw that pitch quite a bit down in Lakeland. He is no longer throwing that 2-seam fastball because of some of the control issues he's had.
Elevated at that time, and he threw it by him for strike 3. That didn't take long.
And Max told me that had he not had the command issues, that he would have stayed with the 2-seamer, but he feels like he has to get his 4-seam fastball back on track, and he has done that so far today. Nothing but strikes from Max.
A very good sign. 5 pitches, all strikes. Here is Andrew McCutcheon.
And he is facing this guy just the way that you want to face him, and that's with no one on the base paths.
And McCutcheon looks at strike 1 as again Scherzer paints the outside part of the plate. Waving a miss.
Good changeup there by Scherzer. And the fact that it had that tailing action down and in, which it means Max getting to a really nice arm slot here so far today. On top of the baseball.
Here's the 0-2. Fouled back out of play.
McCutcheon has lightning quick hands, and he put those lightning quick hands on display yesterday against Drew Smiley. He took him deep twice, once to left and then once to right.
Now the 0-2, swing and a miss. He struck him out. Scherzer throws 9 pitches, all strikes. What a start for Mad Max. As we go to the bottom of the first, the Tigers starting lineup presented today by Big Boy. It features Don Kelly, Andy Dirks, Miguel Cabrera at the top. Prince Fielder is batting cleanup. Delman Young, the DH. Brennan Bosch, 12-game hitting streak right now in right field. Peralta, Avila, Rayburn, your bottom three. So Don Kelly settling into the batter's box as the Tigers take their first swings of this game. Max Scherzer, 9-pitch first inning, all strikes in a 1-2-3 frame. Kelly 1 for 8 in the series, and it's fouled straight back 0-1.
Correa had a start against the Tigers last year in interleague play, and he beat Detroit. So quite a few of these guys know exactly what Correa will be featuring here this afternoon.
31 years of age, out of San Diego, California. That's fouled straight back 0-2 on Kelly. Kevin Correa goes 6'3", 210 out of San Diego. And he's ahead of Kelly here, 0-2. That's pulled foul back into the seats.
Nothing really fancy with Correa on the mound. Fastball anywhere from 87 to 92. He likes to go east and west. Sink the fastball, cutters in. Nice little slow breaking ball and a changeup.
And the 0-2 pitch is hit in the air toward right field. Tabata is on the move. And Kelly is out, one gone. Well, Kevin Correa today is presented by Bill Fox Chevrolet of Rochester.
He doesn't strike out. A lot of people, as you can see, more walks this year than strikeouts for Correa. He lacks that legitimate strikeout pitch.
We'll bring up Andy Dirks. Clint Hurdle, the skipper of the Pittsburgh Pirates this year in his second season. The Pirates come into play today at 19, 20, and 21, the same record as the Tigers. And Dirks looks at the ball outside. Andy has hit safely in his last 5. 351 in the average column so far this season. And he pops this one up. Left side of the infield. Barmes goes to the grass. 2 gone.
While we have a moment here, let me set the Pittsburgh Pirates defensively for you. It's always presented by Tim Hortons. McLeod, McCutchen, Tabata in the outfield. You got Barmes and Neil Walker up the middle. Rod Barajas is back behind the plate for the second consecutive day. And you have Harrison and Jones on the corners in the infield.
Now Cabrera with 2 outs. Miguel in the series has 3 hits. He has scored a couple of times. And Correa misses low. 1 ball, no strikes on Miguel Cabrera. Cabrera this year finds himself in the top 10 in RBIs, hits, home runs in the early going this year. Here's the 1-0. That's popped up foul. Back into the seats. And another nice gathering here this afternoon. Better than 40,000 the first 2 nights. And not too many seats to be had here this afternoon as well. Great weather this weekend. Again, the game time temp today was 82, and it's climbing right now. Right back up the middle, a rocket into center field. It's a 2-out single for Cabrera. His 4th hit in the series.
For a guy that stands 6 feet 5 inches and has the kind of power that Cabrera has, he really has a quiet swing. Very quiet attack. Very seldom do you see the big fella over swinging. And that's rare for a guy that size.
Here is Fielder. Prince doing well in this series. 4 for 9. He's knocked in 3 and takes ball 1.
And really no coincidence that Prince has started to get loose in this series. He's getting better pitches to hit. And the reason for that is Delman Young doing a pretty nice job in that on-deck circle. Teams aren't as easily walking Fielder these days or pitching around him.
Seems to make a difference, doesn't it?
For some guys it does. And Delman has really perked up.
Young waiting his turn on deck. 1 ball and 1 strike on Prince Fielder. A 6-game hit streak right now. Ball low, 2-1. Again, they've got that shift on against Fielder where the third baseman, in this case, Josh Harrison, runs all the way from third into short right field, leaving the entire left side of the infield open. Way high, 3 balls, 1 strike.
And the reason why teams take the third baseman and put him out there is you really keep your double play in order. Your shortstop is at shortstop and your second baseman's at his regular position, versus taking the shortstop and putting him on the other side of the bag, and then your third baseman essentially becomes your shortstop, and he's not accustomed to playing that position at all.
3-2.
Prince yesterday accounted for all the Tigers offense for the most part. He got a breaking ball from A.J. Burnett, and he drilled it into the right field seats.
7th home run of the year for Prince. And now 28 lifetime homers, 77 RBIs, and a .284 average against the Pirates' career. Of course, he saw them plenty of times in his days in Milwaukee over in the National League. A.J. Burnett pitched well enough to win yesterday. Bounced right back to the mound, and Correa makes the play to end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. Let's go to the second. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Strength and stability since 1849. Ram Guts Glory Ram. And by Wishbone Portable Salad Dressing. The bolder, the better. How's it going? Back here at Comerica Park on a gorgeous day for baseball, and another big crowd on hand here this afternoon. Max Scherzer back to the hill. We are scoreless through 1 inning, and Scherzer throws a strike to Pedro Alvarez, 0-1.
He has thrown nothing but strikes so far here today. 10 of 10 for Max, which is a great sign.
Scherzer struck out Walker and McCutchen in the first inning. Here's the 0-1 to Alvarez. Inside, the first time he's missed this afternoon. 95 on the gun.
He had a long way to go before he caught Bartolo Colon anyway, didn't he? What did Bartolo throw? 38 straight strikes?
It might have been more than that. Was it in the 40s?
It was a huge number.
Yeah. It was out of control. The 1-1 is swung on and missed.
That just kind of validates how ridiculous that was. Max threw 10 straight. This guy was up to about 40 in a row.
Yeah. There is his breakdown right now. 11 out of 12. 1-2 on Alvarez, who has not had a good series. And his tough series continues. He strikes out for the 6th time in this series.
Max has a little extra giddy up on his fastball this afternoon. This one at 95. Smooth delivery, little tailing action at the end. Swung and missed by Alvarez.
Now Scherzer will face Garrett Jones. There's a ball outside, and you were correct. It was 38 consecutive strikes that Bartolo threw.
From the 5th inning to the 8th inning, he did not throw one pitch out of the strike zone.
Here's the 1-0. Popped up foul, back out of play.
Looks like Max is getting to a really nice position with his arm so far today. Burying that fastball away from the right-handed hitters on the black outside at 95. And that last pitch, able to get inside with that same velocity against Jones.
Swing and a miss. 1-2.
And when you're able to do that, you make that changeup a legitimate swing and miss pitch. And here's Max's delivery. Something he's been working on long and hard with Jeff Jones. Just trying to keep it simple.
Now the 1-2, and it misses high and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Jones batting .230, 2 for his last 25. And he pulls this one in the air to right field. Bosch on the move, won't get it, up against the wall. Jones on his way to second. And he's in there with a 1-out double.
I don't care who the left-hander is. It could be a big guy. It could be a small guy. It could be a heavy-set guy. If you throw them something down and in, they just absolutely clobber those pitches. Now, that's a breaking ball, a slider that is below the knees. And Jones goes down and hits it off the gate in right field.
It'll be the first base hit for the Pirates. Josh Harrison, the batter. Not a bad series for Harrison. He has scored a couple of runs. He's had a couple of hits. The big one, though, is a couple of nights ago when he broke up the no-hitter for Justin Verlander.
Josh Harrison will always be part of a trivia question here in Detroit. Forever. He and Verlander will forever be linked together.
1-out base hit in the 9th inning, breaking up Verlander's bid for his 3rd no-hitter. Now the 0-1. That slings outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Pirates as a team came into this game batting .218, which was last in the National League, and they also have scored the fewest runs in the majors. They have a chance to get one in here in the 2nd. That's popped up. Right side of the infield. Prince camping under it. Fair or foul. It is a foul ball for out number 2. And Jones holding at second base. We'll bring up Rod Barajas. So despite all the offensive struggles for Pittsburgh, they are still just 2 under the 500 mark, and you can credit their pitching staff for that. Barajas enjoying a 6-game hitting streak.
I'm sure that Clint Hurdle, like so many other teams that are underachieving from an offensive standpoint, are waiting until the weather warms up and hoping that his team warms up with the weather.
Swing and a miss.
Rod Barajas has gotten a steady diet of off-speed pitches so far in the 2 games he's played. And that's the reason why he came into Comerica Park sizzling hot.
Good pickup by Avila. One ball, one strike. Scherzer had a 1-2-3 first, trying to pitch around a one-out double here in the second. Barajas, well traveled, 36 years of age. He's carved out a nice career in the big leagues with several different organizations. Here's the 1-1. It'll go to foul ground down the right field line. Prince charging hard, but can't quite get there. I want to remind you this afternoon, this game is available in high definition on Fox Sports Detroit HD. It's sponsored by Xfinity from Comcast. The temperature now is up to 84 degrees. And a balmy day here in the Motor City. Got the umbrellas out, not for the rain, but to protect from the sunlight. And the 1-2. Another pop up. This one gets back into the seats. Talking about all the teams Barajas has played for: Arizona, Philadelphia, Texas, Toronto, the Mets. There's a happy young fan, although he's wearing Pirates gear.
The dad caught it and handed it over. Said it didn't hurt.
Wait till he gets home tonight. He'll be icing it. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Scherzer dispatches of Barajas. 4 strikeouts for Max Scherzer. Here at Comerica Park in the final game of the series. It is time now for the Mazda scouting report on Delman Young, and we see that he's done marvelous work in this series, which is a good rebound from his previous 16.
Yeah, Delman has always been a slow starter, but picking it up here in the month of May, and also appears to be getting more comfortable with that DH role on a day-to-day basis.
It'll be Young, Bosch, and Peralta here in the second. And he drills the first pitch in the air to deep center. McCutchen going back. Boy, he hit that ball hard, too.
He sure did. But McCutchen already playing Delman very deep in center field.
McCutchen's one of those guys like Austin Jackson. They just glide to the baseball. It's so effortless out there.
He was a track star in high school. He was part of his high school's 4x100 relay team, so you know he could pick him up and put him down.
Here's Bosch with one out. In there for a strike. And both starting pitchers for the most part today doing a pretty good job of pounding the strike zone, at least early on. Kevin Correa was an all-star last year for the Buccos. That's driven towards center field, and again McCutchen is on the run for this one. He goes to the gap to haul it in.
Hey fans, Fox Sports Game Connect, the ultimate online experience for fans. Log on and take part in the most interactive forum during Tigers games. Stats, trends, exclusive analysis, and live Twitter feeds. Plus, you can even share your thoughts with the game broadcast from Fox Sports Game Connect, now available on FoxSportsDetroit.com.
It is another Kids Day here at the ballpark. She's all painted up, ready to go. Johnny Peralta looks at strike one. Peralta batting .262. In the month of May, he is hitting an even .300. One ball and one strike. Oh, he hit him. Peralta could not get out of the way of that one. The fastball drilled him. Right to the backside.
I guess if you're going to get hit, that's where you want to get hit.
Most padding back there?
Absolutely, for some of them.
Here's Avila. Tigers have their second base runner. Avila looks at ball one. Alex 1 for 7 in the series. He's batting in the 8th slot in this one today.
Alex came into the homestand really racking up good numbers here at Comerica Park, where he has really struggled on the road from a batting average standpoint. And the Tigers really need to get that bottom of their order going. Peralta has perked up. Bosch has started to perk up. The numbers at 273 here for Alex. 136 away. All of his homers have come right here at Comerica Park.
The home numbers were over 300 coming into this homestand, but he's 1 for 14 on the stand. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Alex took some extra batting practice the other day and noticed a minor flaw in where he was holding his hands. They were a little lower this year than they were last year, so he has ever so slightly picked them up.
Swing and a miss, and Correa strikes him out to end the inning. First strikeout of the game for Correa. Tigers baseball presented by Bell Tire. brought to you by Arby's. It's good mood food. And by AT the nation's largest 4G network. AT rethink possible. Scoreless start to this one this afternoon as we go to the top of the third. No score here today between the Tigers and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Wrapping up this interleague series. It'll be McLouth, Barmes, and Tabata. Kids Day at the ballpark as well. Plenty of youngsters roaming the yard this afternoon. There's a strike called on Nate McLouth. .154 this year for McLouth. Ball outside. Second time he has been in a Pirates uniform. He came up with the Pirates and then went to the Braves for a couple of seasons, 3 to be exact. Here's the 1-1. Outside, 2-1. Whitehall High School in Whitehall, Michigan, just outside of Muskegon, is where Nate McLouth grew up. The 2-1 pitch. Low, 3 balls, 1 strike. In fact, Nate in his high school days was Mr. Baseball in Michigan as a senior. Player of the year in the state. The 3-1 pitch is in there, a strike, 3-2.
That's when you know you're scuffling a little bit. You get yourself in a really good hitter's count, 3 balls and 1 strike. You know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you're going to get a fastball, even though it was in the mid-90s. McLouth didn't even offer at it.
He offered at that one with no success. Scherzer racking up the strikeouts. That is 5 as we go back to the studio for a game break. Here's Mickey York. All right, Mick, thanks. Here is Clint Barmes. Barmes pops it up foul. Avila and Fielder neither can get there. It's in the dugout.
Oh, Mickey York sounded rejuvenated in the Coliseum studio this afternoon and last night, isn't he?
Didn't he, though?
After a 10-day road trip out on that West Coast swing with us.
It took its toll on Mick, you could tell.
Yeah.
He was dragging like the rest of us coming back. That 3-hour and 40-minute game in Chicago to close out the road trip.
Oh, Mick.
0-1 on Clint Barmes. Outside. All 5 of these Scherzer strikeouts today have been swinging. Barmes hitless in the series, 0 for 7. Here's the 1-1.
Not a lot of success for Barmes against Scherzer in his career. Those were his days as a Colorado Rocky.
Bouncing ball left side. It's through right under the glove of Miguel Cabrera.
He is now 2 for 12 against Max. 3 for 12, excuse me.
Pirates have their second hit.
One step and a dive just out of the reach or underneath the glove of Miguel Cabrera.
Jose Tabata steps in. And he takes strike 1. Scherzer continues to throw strikes. 28 of the 37 pitches he has fired today have been in the strike zone. And 9 of 10 first pitch strikes. Fouled away, 0-2.
You can tell that he's got a lively fastball today because several of these Pittsburgh Pirates hitters have been late on it, and many have swung right through it. Max has gotten all the way up to 96 in this contest.
Make it 1 ball and 2 strikes. On Jose Tabata, who fly to right field back in the first. The only other hit that Scherzer allowed was the 1-out double in the second, but then he got a pop up and a strikeout. Scherzer, as we mentioned a bit earlier, threw 99 pitches in just 4 innings of work in Chicago. In his last start, checked it inside the appeal. He did not go. Dale Scott patrolling first base. Two and two. Ground ball slowly towards short. Peralta to second one. Relay is going to be late. He was not hit nearly hard enough to turn 2. A little bit of contact down there at second base. Rayburn slow to get up.
And Barmes gets right on top of Rayburn. And Rayburn really couldn't get anything on his throw. Clean slide by Barmes as well.
Two-out chance now for Neil Walker. Tigers had Santiago playing second base yesterday. Rayburn played the first and now the third game in the series at second base.
Tabata does run, but he hasn't been very good this year as far as his ratio, his percentage is concerned. He has 5 steals. He's been caught 4 times.
And there he goes. And now he puts on the brakes and heads back to first base.
Sometimes as a base runner, when you run a lot, and he runs a lot, you realize you don't get the kind of jump you thought that you should get. Therefore, you simply retreat back to the bag. And it looked like Tabata, after about 3 steps, kind of slipped.
Tabata last year stole 16, was caught 7 times, 19 the year before that. One and 0 on Walker. One ball, 1 strike. Walker was hitting 5th earlier in the season and was having really good success doing so. In fact, he hits .395 in the 5 slot, but Clint Hurdle realized that his team just wasn't getting anything going, so they moved him ahead of McCutchen in the lineup to try and create some opportunities. And so he's in the 2-hole these days. There goes the runner, and it's grounded foul. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Kind of the same problem that at time Jim Leland has had this year. When your club is struggling offensively, you try and do some things to stir it up, and Clint Hurdle has tried to find some answers to get some more offense from his club.
Yes.
Of course, McCutchen has been really their consistent offensive performer. And the 1-2, it's high, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Last time Scherzer faced the Pirates, it was the same pitching matchup. Scherzer against Correa. Pirates won that game last May in Pittsburgh. Max in that game went 5 2/3, gave up 3 runs, struck out 7 in that contest. He already has 5 today. Two and 2 on Neil Walker. That time a quicker move from Scherzer. I think we've seen over the last couple of years, Rod, that he has worked on that move, particularly this year. It's gotten a little bit quicker at times.
Opposing base runners used to run at will when Max was on the mound, but not so much these days. This year so far, only 5 attempts while Max has been on the mound. Successful 3 times.
Swing and a miss out of the strike zone, and Walker again chases. 6 strikeouts for Max.
Versus the New York Yankees, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com.
Pause as we speak is getting tailored for the outfit for that night.
Looks like it fits, too.
That's beautiful. Bottom of the 3rd inning here at the ballpark. No score in this one. Ryan Rayburn leads it off for Detroit. Rayburn, Kelly, and Dirks facing Kevin Correa, who so far has given up a single and has hit a batter. There's a breaking ball that bends in for a strike. Rayburn thought it was outside and has a few words now for Dan Iasonia. Mr. Foxtrack said it was right on the border. 0-2. Rayburn at 148 is 0 for 4 in this series. Thought that Ryan might be able to take off after that big game that he had in Chicago. Held up his swing. 2-2 the count. Now the 2-2 pitch. Fouled away. You mentioned Correa was an all-star last year. He won 12 games, 11 of those in the first half. That's why he made the all-star team. Finished 12-11 with an ERA of 4.78. He did a lot of his damage on the road. Was 10-3 away from PNC Park. Here's the 2-2. High, 3-2 on Rayburn.
That's what Correa will do. He will climb the ladder with the fastball about 92 to try to get a swing and miss. That's really the only pitch that hitters swing through and miss on him. Occasionally he'll throw you a good breaking ball, but he pitches to a lot of contact.
Popped up, straight up. First baseman coming in, Garrett Jones. In foul ground, one gone. We'll bring up Don Kelly, who is 0 for 1 with a fly ball. Correa this year got off to a really nice start in the month of April, a 2.42 ERA, but look at that earned run average in May. He's winless. It's over 7. He has faced Cincinnati, Washington, and Miami in the month of May. Kelly fouls it away, 0-1. Donnie now 1 for 9 in the series, batting .192. Tigers still waiting the return of Austin Jackson, who's getting closer. I think the off day tomorrow certainly will help both he and Valverde. And Papa Grande again is not available today. Jim Leyland saying before the game he is hopeful that Valverde will be available Tuesday night in Cleveland.
How about Jackson?
Didn't say anything about Jackson. He just continues to work out a little bit, and who knows when he'll be back, but hopefully it's going to be by next week, because he certainly brings another dimension to the offense.
For sure.
And the defense, for that matter. Now the 2-1. Popped up. Third base side, Harrison calling for it. And he'll catch it as well. 2 up, 2 down, and a couple of pop-ups here in the third.
The majority of the outs that the Tigers have made today have been in the air. A lot of guys getting underneath the pitches today of Correa.
That proves it. 5 outs in the air, including Dirks, who popped up to the shortstop in the first inning. Strike one. We're talking about the fact that Correa had 11 wins at the All-Star break last year. Only 3 pitchers in the big leagues had more at the break last season. Verlander was one of them. He had 12. Sabathia, Jair Jurgens the other 2. That's sliced on a pop-up to shallow left, sinking and caught on the run by McLeod. 1-2-3 third for Correa.
Max pitched it very difficult his first time up. It's our Bell Tire pitch by pitch. Well located fastball, then a really nice changeup, another fastball in the mid-90s, and then he was able to finish McCutchen off with a real good fading changeup down and in.
So it'll be McCutchen to start things off in the fourth. He'll be followed by Alvarez and then Garrett Jones. No runs, 2 hits for Pittsburgh. No runs, 1 hit for Detroit. Strike called on McCutchen. All 7 of his home runs have come this month in May. In fact, he has 7 RBIs this week. A couple of home runs against Washington before this series started in 1 game. Here are his April-May splits. April not all that bad, just no power, but he hit 300.
Andrew playing like he wants to make his second All-Star team.
One and 2 on McCutchen.
Andrew was rewarded with a very nice contract before the season began. 5 years, over $50 million. He'll be in a Pirates uniform for a long, long time.
He was drafted out of high school in Fort Meade, Florida, and in high school he was, as you can imagine, a kid that played multiple sports: baseball, football, ran track. 25 years of age.
Hasn't reached his prime yet.
Swing and a miss. And so Scherzer has found a way to take care of him. Second time he's fanned him today.
Max is really working McCutchen over this afternoon, and most of his pitches early in the count are below the knees. And that's where you have to work against a guy that's as dangerous as McCutchen can be. You speed his bat up with the fastballs, then you slow him back down by throwing in some breaking balls, and Max has done that very nicely first 2 times up today against Andrew.
7 strikeouts for Scherzer, all of them swinging. Swing and a miss.
And usually for Max, when he has these very high strikeout games, the pitch count is way up. But his pitch count not bad right now at 52.
The 0-1. Make it 0-2 on Alvarez.
Told you earlier that Max came up with a 2-seam fastball in the offseason. He worked on it, then he worked on it in spring training. And the reason why he worked on it, he wanted easier outs. He wanted ground balls early in counts, and just didn't really work for Max. I mean, some guys have to go out there and throw 95, 96. They are who they are.
The 0-2. Swing and a miss. How about this series for Alvarez? He is now 0 for 8 with 7 strikeouts.
Max has got an explosive fastball today, but his changeup has been tremendous.
Strikeouts per 9 innings pitched in the American League, and Scherzer leads the way ahead of Yu Darvish. Verlander on that list along with CC and Nova.
Yu Darvish is the truth. He's good. We saw him, and he's gone on and pitched some really good games after he left Comerica Park.
Here's the 1-0. Of course, the Rangers had to pony up the money for the posting fee. Then they had to pony up the money for his contract, and there had to be a part of the Rangers organization that was holding its breath to make sure that he could do it in the United States, and so far he has. There's the 1-1. Fouled away.
Jones, his last time up, got an 86-mile-per-hour slider from Max and hit it off the right field wall for a double. Max has been able to throw fastballs right by him in this at-bat. We'll see if he continues that pattern with maybe a fastball a little bit higher for strike 3. Changeup.
Max now has 22 pitches in this game, 22 already, that he's thrown 95 and above. Swing and a miss. Boy, the strikeouts just keep on coming. He fans the side here in the fourth. All of them swinging. He has 9 for the day.
We're not playing well. I mean, you can't hide from that. You can't run from that. You face the facts. And I think sometimes the first step to doing better is to admit that you're not doing good. If you're fooling yourself, looking in the mirror saying, you know, I'm really doing all right, when you're not doing all right, you don't come out of it very quick. But if you're going to say, you know what, I'm not doing very good right now. You know, you like right now when I look in the mirror, I don't like what I see because this team's not doing good. That's my responsibility. But it also goes the same with the players. You look in the mirror and you're kidding yourself saying, well, you know, I'm doing okay. Well, some guys aren't doing okay. That's just...
The words of manager Jim Leyland on his team's struggles. They are 19-21 coming into play this afternoon.
Not only are those words good for his team, but those are good words for all of us in everyday life.
Well, the Tigers certainly in the eyes of many underperforming. That's popped up. Let's see if it stays in play. Barajas, look out. Almost flipped into the dugout. 0-2.
Good hustle by Rod Barajas, who is playing like a rookie instead of an 11-year veteran.
No runs, 2 hits for the Pirates. No runs, 1 hit for the Tigers. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. Cabrera, Fielder, Young, 3, 4, and 5 in the Detroit lineup here, facing Kevin Correa. And the 0-2 lifted back out of play. Miguel had a single back in the first. He hits now in his last 11 games. Average up to 313. 1-2. And he tipped it into the glove for strike 3. Correa has a strikeout, just his second here this afternoon. Now Cabrera having a little chat with home plate umpire Dan Iasonia. I think Cabby took exception to a pitch that was up and in, kind of looked out at Correa. Now he's having words with Iasonia.
Yeah, I really don't know what that was all about. But something has gotten Miggy upset.
Yeah, he looked irked on the pitch right before he struck out. 1 ball, no strikes on Prince. Swing and a miss. 1-1. Fielder tapped out right back at the pitcher his first time up. Fielder at 3-0-1.
Lloyd trying to calm Cabrera down.
You never know what is said at home plate, maybe between a catcher and a hitter, or a pitcher and a hitter, or an umpire. But something has set Miguel off a little bit here. Prince career against Correa just 4 for 20. Here's the 1-2. That's pulled foul. The sizzling souvenir. 1-2 on Fielder. Stayed away from him that time with a fastball outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Waiting on deck, Delman Young. Tigers have had so far just 1 hit, the Cabrera single back in the first. They've had a hit batter as well. That was Peralta. Otherwise, Correa, much like Scherzer, has been in command today. Scherzer doing it a different way, though, with the strikeouts. Missed it outside. 3-2. Correa originally was the 4th round pick of San Francisco, pitched with the Giants for 6 years and then a couple of years in San Diego. So all of his big league career was spent out on the West Coast. We mentioned he grew up in San Diego. Fouled back. And another one back into the seats. 3-2 the count stays on Prince Fielder. This will be the 9th pitch coming up in this at bat. And he's driven in the air to right. Way back. Tabata to the wall to make the catch. Prince carried his bat all the way almost to first base. 2 gone. Time for the Farmers Insurance report card. How about the Tigers through 40 games last year compared to this year? Their record was a little bit better. 22-18. Here's Delman Young. He lined out to center field his first time up. And he shoots this one in the air down the right field line, foul.
And Delman loves to attack. That first pitch, his first time up, he lined out to center field. McCutchen was playing deep, and a ball that was hit hard, McCutchen made look routine out in center.
Again in the air to right center this time. Tabata is calling off McCutchen, but it's going to be McCutchen who steps in front of him to make the catch. 1-2-3 inning for Correa. Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Bell Tire. Get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. And by Toyota. Brought to you by your Greater Detroit Toyota dealers. Fun time here at the ballpark today. Kids Day here at Comerica. 85 degrees right now at the yard. It's still scoreless as we go to the top of the 5th. And Josh Harrison will start things off for the Pirates. It'll be Harrison, Barajas, and McLouth against Max Scherzer, who has been really, really good. In fact, he has struck out 4 straight batters in this game and has 9 total. First pitch inside. His 60th pitch of the afternoon. Ball 2 outside. Only 3 hits between these two clubs, 2 for the Pirates and 1 for the Tigers. Two and 1. Harrison popped up to first. He is 0 for 1. Pops it up again, but this one finds the seats. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pirates have had 19 straight seasons of under 500 baseball, which is a record for professional sports franchises in North America. 19 straight years. They've had 7 straight years of losing at least 90. Now the 2-2. Swinging a tip for strike 3, and they just keep on coming. 10 strikeouts for Max Scherzer.
Max has got every pitch working today. He's got the fastball in the mid-90s. He's got the changeup that he's throwing to the right-handers, and he also has thrown some good sliders too.
He is starting to gain on his career high 14 in the strikeout category. Here is Barajas. That's driven deep to left field, way back. That ball is up. It's going to carry, and it's gone. A home run for Rod Barajas, and that is the first run of the game for either side.
Max has pretty much been first pitch strikes to all these Pittsburgh Pirates hitters today. And Rod Barajas, he knew that. He got himself a fastball first pitch and didn't miss it. And Max, as soon as he threw it, he knew the end result was not going to be a good one. He knew it.
So Barajas extends his hitting streak to 7 straight with a bang. 4th home run of the year, and the Pirates lead 1-0.
Pirates scored 4 runs yesterday, and all 4 of those runs were courtesy of the home run ball. Andrew McCutchen hit both of them.
One and 1 on Nate McLouth. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That's rolled foul. 1-2 the count. Well, Scherzer getting his 10th strikeout, but Barajas takes him deep. In fact, Max had struck out 5 in a row before that home run. Bouncing ball, foul.
Rod Barajas is a nice story, and it gives all kids hope that have dreams of playing Major League Baseball. Undrafted out of junior college, Cerritos Junior College in Los Angeles area, signed out of a tryout camp by the Arizona Diamondbacks, and has carved out 11 years of Major League service. All you need is a chance.
2-2 the count. Well, those tryout camps do provide guys with opportunities, and I think going into them they know it's a long shot, but every now and then You might see a guy that's signable, at least get him into the minor league organization, see what he can do. But Barajas has gone on to have a nice major league career. Lengthy. 3-2 meanwhile on Nate McLeod.
We have told the story many, many times on Ron Washington, the manager of the Texas Rangers, who was signed out of a tryout camp in New Orleans by the Kansas City Royals. There was 156 people that went to the tryout, and Ron Washington was the only one that got an opportunity. 1 out of 156. So you're right, it's a long shot.
Here's the 3-2. Swing and a miss, and Scherzer now has 11 strikeouts. He's going to bring up Clint Barmes.
I don't think I've ever seen Max better than he has been so far here today through 4 2/3 innings. I remember that 14 strikeout performance against the Oakland A's. He threw a lot of fastballs that day. Today he's got that disappearing changeup.
Well, Tigers pitchers now, well, they struck out 12 in yesterday's game. And this is the 12th time that they have struck out 10 or more in the first 40 games of this season. So the staff continues to rack up the strikeouts. 12 yesterday, 11 more today.
Here's the breakdown, the percentage of what Max is doing so far today in the 74 pitches that he's already thrown.
Strike called on the inside part of the plate, 1-2. Three shy of his career high in the strikeout category. He's ahead of Barmes. And he's too shy now as he strikes him out again, swinging. 12 of them for Max. But the home run by Barajas makes it 1-0. Barajas on a kids' day here at the ballpark. Here's the AT trivia question this afternoon. What active player has hit the most home runs against the Pirates? The active player that has hit the most homers against Pittsburgh. That is your AT question. Tigers now down by a run, send Brennan Bosch to the plate, and he pops up the first pitch. Foul ground for Harrison at third, and one gone.
Meanwhile, while Max has been racking up tons of strikeouts, 12 of them to be exact, Correa has gone about his business in a very workmanlike fashion. He's only given up one hit. That was a single. that was up the middle by Miguel Cabrera, and every single Tiger continues to pop up or fly out.
We notice what Max is doing because of all the strikeouts, but quietly Correa now has retired 11 of the last 12 Tigers. That's rolled foul. The only guy that has reached in that stretch is this guy here, Peralta, and he was hit by a pitch.
And he's getting it done in a different way. Cut fastball at about 92. He'll sink it at about 90. A little slow curveball. Very few changeups thrown. He's got a little bit of a forkball too that acts like his changeup.
1 ball, 1 strike on Johnny. Fly ball, right field, hit well. Avila going back to the track, to the wall. He looks up, and we are tied up. Johnny Peralta answers with a solo shot of his own.
One of the reasons why Peralta was off to such a sluggish start this year is that pitch right there that he got from Correa. He had been trying to pull this ball the first 6 weeks of the year, but the last week or so he has started to take some hits up the middle, and as a result of that, he's driving the ball the opposite way with authority again.
As he did there, and that's a perfect shot right there.
They on TV already?
1-1 game. Avila hits a ground ball to first base. That's a fair ball, and Jones will tag the bag for the out.
It's a fastball at 88 miles an hour, and it's just a really good swing by Peralta.
They battled for the ball, and there you go.
They are all good now.
Absolutely perfect day now.
Mom, dad, baby. That's beautiful.
Ball 1 to Ryan Rayburn.
Good looking family.
Absolutely. Now a baseball for the mantle. Here's the 1-0. Fouled straight back. 1-1 on Ryan Rayburn. So both starters have been dominant today, but they have each been touched up by a solo home run. Barajas for the Pirates, Peralta for the Detroit Tigers.
Both of Peralta's home runs this year looked identical.
Oh, Rayburn appeared to be hit by the pitch, or did it catch the bat? It did. It's fouled off.
Peralta had that walk-off home run earlier in a game against the White Sox. Nothing worse than that as a hitter. You recognize the pitch up and in, and you can't get your bat out of the way.
As a result, 1-2. See if this one finds the seats. Jones toward the tarp. Out of real estate. Correa now has given up 4 home runs in his last 4 starts, after giving up just 1 in his first 4 starts. One and 2 on Rayburn. Two and 2 on Rayburn. He'll get back out of play. Two and 2 the count. Don Kelly waiting on deck. That is popped up right side of the infield. Walker settles under it to retire the side. However, the Tigers are able to tie it up. Johnny goes deep the other way. And that family has completed their day. One as we go to the top of the 6th inning. Don't forget to vote for your Tigers McDonald's player of the game today. It's presented by the Angus Third Pounder Deluxe. Using your cell phone, text Tigers followed by a space, the player's uniform number to 37338. Or if you'd like, you can vote online at foxsportsdetroit.com. Standard text rate supply.
I'm still trying to find the folks out there that didn't vote for Verlander the other day. There's 2% of them out there.
They apparently were watching another game. Or weren't watching at all. Here's a show of bunt. Strike one on top of it. Tabata is the leadoff man. He's followed by Walker and McCutchen.
We got a good game going here today.
We do indeed. It's been dominated by the pitchers. It's been fun to watch all the strikeouts for Max. Tabata lays off. (14 of 19) first pitch strikes and a wave and a miss. We have had a ton of swings and misses today, not just obviously on strike threes, but throughout the afternoon. In fact, the Pirates now in this series have struck out 36 times. Little chopper. Scherzer off to make the play. Plants and throws him out. Nicely done.
First, you have to catch it, and then you get set and you make a good throw to first base, and Max does all of that.
Here's Neil Walker. 5 hits between these two clubs, 3 for Pittsburgh and 2 for Detroit. 1-1 in the 6th, the series finale, each team with a victory. Walker has fanned twice. Way outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
For as many strikeouts as Max has had today, he has done it in as few pitches as possibly imaginable.
It is pretty impressive. I mean, he has 12 strikeouts in this game. And that was his 83rd pitch. Two and one on Neil Walker. Make it 2-2. Neil's dad Tom was a pitcher in the big leagues, briefly with the Tigers in the mid-70s, among other ball clubs. And the 2-2 coming home. Fouled away.
The majority of Max's fastballs today have been above 95 miles an hour. Very seldom has he gone below that. It's a good spot for that good changeup now, though.
Missed high, 3-2.
Alex called for the changeup, and Max didn't want to throw it. He wanted to go to the fastball, and he overthrew that one.
Well, he had gotten Walker on the elevated fastball in each of the last two at bats. That one a little bit too high.
Alex gets his wish now, the changeup.
And he spoiled it, back out of play. Each team has had just two left on base. Not many scoring opportunities this afternoon. Barajas and Peralta with home runs. Driven to right field, but he's going to hook it. Boy, did he get a hold of that one.
Oh.
Upper deck.
You don't see many go up there.
Fortunately foul. Pitch number 9 coming up in this at bat.
He didn't think he'd be getting a foul ball today.
No, absolutely not.
No glove, no nothing.
Your chances are pretty slim up there. This one goes the other way.
I told you these were good seats, honey. We're going to get us a foul ball today.
He had a broken hand, apparently. The feeling will come back eventually. Again, the 3-2 pitch. Swinging a drive. Way back into right field. He kept that one fair, and that one is way gone.
You do not see that very often. A guy hits a 400-foot home run foul and then comes back to connect a couple of pitches later and keep it fair. It's a slider that flattened out on Max. Didn't have much depth to it. And Walker, when he hit it, he knew the feeling.
That's where this one landed. Way back there. That is the 4th hit for the Pirates. They lead 2-1 as McCutchen rolls it foul.
Brennan Bosch didn't move in right field.
Walker had to foul off 4 2-strike pitches before he could find one that he could deposit into the seats.
Good at bat by him.
It went 407 feet. Ball inside of McCutchen, 1-1.
Here's a guy that if you do throw him a fastball, you want to make sure that you locate it because he's got a really quick bat.
1-2.
And this is pretty good location. 94 kind of tied McCutchen up. Off the label.
He went around, strike 3. McCutchen strikes out for the 3rd time today. While we have a chance, to the studio we go. Here's Mickey York. All right, Mick, thank you very much. Cleveland 3.5 up on Chicago, 4 up on the Tigers, who are 2 under the 500 mark entering play today. Keep our eyes on that one. Scherzer, meanwhile, is 1 shy of his career high 13 punch-outs. He has fanned McCutchen 3 times today. He has struck out Alvarez twice. Here's the 1-0. Up to 97 today, a low of 83 for Max, courtesy of Xfinity. Now the 1-1. Alvarez is 0 for 8 with 7 strikeouts in this series. Played his college ball at Vanderbilt. In fact, when he came out in the draft in 08, was considered the best power hitting college prospect out of Vandy. Second pick overall in the 08 draft. Has found it tough sledding so far this year, although he has 7 home runs. The 3-1. He walked him. Bernstein Advantage brings you the scouting report on Pedro Alvarez. Get the Bernstein Advantage. We go to bat for you. He was drafted a couple of times, didn't sign with the Red Sox, went to Vandy instead, and became the 2nd overall pick of the Pirates.
Made a wise choice. High school education and $1 million out of college, at least.
Hit a lot of home runs at Vandy. 2-out base runner. Here's Garrett Jones. Fouled straight back.
He and David Price had to be teammates at some point in time at Vanderbilt.
Let's see. He was drafted in 08. Yeah, I would think so. Oh, 0-1. Jones had a double, did not score back in the 2nd. And he looks at a strike call. Now it's 0-2.
And for those of you that do not know who David Price is, David Price, I believe, was the #1 overall player chosen the year he came out of Vanderbilt in the entire draft. Left-handed pitcher for the Tampa Bay Rays. Being told they played 3 years together, he and Alvarez.
And the 0-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Scherzer ties a career high with 14 punch-outs, but Walker's homer makes it 2-1.
battle the New York Yankees at 7:15 p.m. at Star Wars night. The first 10,000 fans receive a Star Wars Tigers fathead. Call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com.
Well, the Tigers again have work to do now. A couple of home runs for Pittsburgh. They're up by a run, 2-1. Don Kelly starts it off as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning here at Comerica. Kelly in this ball game 0 for 2. Two 2-0 on Don. Tigers' lone run coming on the Peralta home run in the 5th. Correa's 2-0 is fouled back out of play, 2-1. Kelly, Dirks, Cabrera in the Tiger half of the 6th. Off day tomorrow for the ball club. Next road trip cranks up on Tuesday in Cleveland. Donnie tried to hold up 2-2. There was some activity in the bullpen. Tony Watson warming up for the Pirates. Tigers also have some action going too. Max has thrown 102 pitches. There's a slow floater on one hop hit to the first baseman Jones, and Correa covers one out. That'll bring up Andy Dirks. Again, the Tigers playing a little shorthanded today. No Valverde, no Austin Jackson. Dirks 0 for 2. Jackson with that mild abdominal strain. He's been hitting off the tee, trying to get to where he is good enough to play. That's in the air. Shallow center. McCutcheon coming in. The shortstop Barmas going back to make a tough play. 2 gone. Here's the AT&T trivia question. What active player has hit the most home runs against the Pirates? Is it Cabrera? Negative. It's Pujols. Albert with 48 of them career against the Buccos.
Albert's starting to heat up a little bit out west, isn't he?
He is indeed. He's starting to hit some home runs now. There's a ground ball back up the middle. Barmas ranging left. And Cabrera is out. It's a quick 1-2-3 inning for Kevin Correa. And they're trying to cool him down here at the ballpark. Phil Koch in the Detroit bullpen. Check that out.
He has taken a page out of Jonesy's book. Didn't Todd Jones used to do that?
He used to do that. You know, Dan Quisenberry used to do that in KC. It would get hot in KC. And Phil Koch trying to cool him down here on an 85-degree day. Meanwhile, Max Scherzer has gone 6, tying a career high in punch-outs.
And Jim going to let him go one more inning, hoping that his team could possibly score a couple of runs for Max and make him the winner this afternoon. That's if he's able to shut down the Pirates here in the top half of the 7th.
And the top of the 7th will feature Harrison, Barajas, and McLouth. 2 runs, 4 hits for the Pirates. Tigers have only 1 run on 2 hits. A home run by Peralta. Breaking ball spins in for a strike.
Max has only pitched 7 innings once this year. That was in a game against the White Sox 3 starts ago.
Fouled back out of play. One more strikeout, and Scherzer has a career high. He has thrown 104 pitches in this game, and Harrison is 0 for 2. He has fanned him once. Here's the 0-2. There it is. Struck him out swinging. 15 is a career high for Scherzer. Well, this is the most by a Tiger since Mickey Lolich struck out 15 back in 1972. How about that? It's been that long since a Tiger pitcher has fanned 15.
It's nice company.
Here's Barajas. He got him for a home run back in the 5th. And the 15 strikeouts is also the most in the major leagues for a single game this year. Wave and miss. 1-1 on Rod Barajas. Cliff Lee struck out 16 last May. And so Scherzer's mark is the most since that. About a year ago. Here's the 1-1 offering. That's in the air. Right center field. Bosch and Kelly converge. Kelly. 2 gone.
Don't forget to join us on Tuesday after the Tigers have a day off tomorrow for more baseball. Tigers head to Cleveland to battle the Indians. Coverage begins at 6:30 with Tigers Live on Fox Sports Detroit. That's Tigers baseball Tuesday at 7 right here on Fox Sports Detroit.
Here's Nate McLouth.
Indians going to see 3 of the Tigers' best pitchers. Porcello, Fister, Verlander. We're going to get a couple of their good pitchers too. Masterson and Ubaldo Jimenez.
Although Jimenez is 4-3 with a 5 ERA, Masterson's ERA is 5.04. And those guys have been 2 of their better pitchers. Of course, Jimenez came over in that deal with Colorado. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Just off the plate. 2-1 on Nate McLouth. 7:05, 7:05, 12:05. The start times in Cleveland. The 2-1. 2-2. McLouth is now 0 for his last 18. He has struck out twice in this game. Barmas on deck. And the 2-2. 3-2. 12th able to stay alive. Max has given up 4 hits. The main problem is 2 of them have left the building. The home runs by Walker and Barajas. And Pittsburgh leads 2-1. Here's the 3-2 pitch coming home. In the air. Left field. Dirks is under it, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Max Scherzer. Stretch time. Tigers try to get the bats going with fielder Young and Bosch.
Marvelous today. Max had 15 strikeouts total, and all 15 of them were looking. Fastball mid-90s all afternoon long. He had good separation with the changeup and the breaking ball, and whatever adjustments he and Jeff Jones made in between this start and his last start 5 days ago against the White Sox. I guess you can say it worked. What an outing by Maxwell.
15 strikeouts. And really dominant at times here this afternoon. The only difference, the 2 home runs for Pittsburgh, only 1 for the Tigers. Our Comerica game summary in this one: Peralta hit the solo shot for Detroit, his 2nd of the year. You see the Scherzer strikeout total, and 39 strikeouts this series for Tigers pitching. The Buccos have been going down swinging a lot in this series. Scherzer ends up with 115 pitches. So it's up to the Tiger bats now to try and get something started. And for the Tigers, it'll be fielder Young and Bosch. Meanwhile, in a much more sedate way, Kevin Correa is just cruising along today. He's retired 13 of the last 14 that he's faced. He's gotten fielder twice. Prince 0 for 2. Fielder, a ground ball and a fly ball. Correa with no walks, 2 strikeouts. In 6 innings of work, he has thrown 74 pitches in 6 innings. And Fielder ropes one foul down the first base line. 0-1.
Tom Brookins, Tigers first base coach, he knows that when Prince Fielder comes up, he needs to back up as far as he could possibly back up out of that first base batter's box. Look how far he is, but I don't blame him.
That last one came sizzling right by him. That's another foul back out of play. 0-2 on Prince. Foul again. That was a bullet that got into the seats quickly.
And then ricocheted back out into the field of play.
Young waiting on deck. 4, 5, and 6 in Jim Leyland's lineup today. We're in the bottom of the 7th, 2-1 Pittsburgh. Little pop up. Going to be a tough play. Shallow left, and it's going to drop. Base hit, and it's kicked all the way into foul territory. And Fielder will go to second.
That's a nice break right there. Barmes, the shortstop, goes out, can't catch it, and then kicks it into foul territory, and that allowed Prince Fielder to get to second base. He actually
he swiped
tried
at
to grab it and ended up swiping it into foul territory. Prince has gotten quite a few hits the opposite way this year. 15 of them to be exact.
That's fouled off. They've ruled that a double? How do you rule that a double?
Well, I guess the effort maybe. They didn't feel like they should give Barmes an error on a ball that he tried to swipe at, I guess.
2-base hit for Prince. Prince now has a 7-game hitting streak. Tigers have a chance to tie this one up. At the very least. Right back up the middle. Here comes Prince to third. Here's sending him home, and he will score. Delman gets it done again. Two batters into the 7th. The Tigers have tied it up.
Gene Lamont, third base coach, knows that Andrew McCutchen plays very deep in center field. Therefore, he knew it would be no problem whatsoever scoring Prince Fielder on this base hit.
Pitching change coming up here at the ballpark. Correa is done for the afternoon. Tigers have tied this one up. Wall side windows pitching change. Last right now at the ballpark. Tigers have tied it up 2-2. They have the go-ahead run at first base. On a glorious day for baseball here. The Tigers have gotten to Kevin Correa. They've knocked him out of the game here in the 7th. And the new pitcher coming in is Tony Watson.
And Watson might only see one batter. That was the way his last outing went against the Washington Nationals when he got Bryce Harper out, and then Clint Hurdle simply took him out of the ball game. He's got good numbers this year overall. up and down, having a solid year, Tony is.
He will face Bosch, who is 0 for 2. Tigers now have 4 hits. Doubled by Prince, and Delman Young singles him home. Bosch looks at ball 1 outside.
For those of you that may be looking for a sacrifice bunt here, Bosch does not have one this season.
More action in their bullpen. Brad Lincoln. Delman gets back, standing up.
Jim Leyland sent Max Scherzer out for the 7th inning after he had thrown 102 pitches and had already struck out 14. Hopefully that his team would score and get Max a win. They have taken him off the hook for a loss in this game by tying the score.
Slowly hit towards second base. Only one play. That will move the runner up. Bosch is out 4-3. That'll bring up Johnny Peralta. And Watson will stay in there to face him. Solo home run and hit by a pitch for Peralta today. Johnny looks at strike 1. Here's Watson's 0-1 pitch. That's inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Watson played his college ball in Nebraska, was a really good high school pitcher. 3 no-hitters. An Iowa State record of a 0.10 ERA. Here's the 1-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. Now Barajas will head out to the mound.
Well, Barajas is a veteran catcher, and the one thing that he will tell Watson here is you don't have to give in to Peralta. You've got a base open, and the worst thing that can happen is you walk him and you have the left-hander in the on-deck circle, Avila, and you set up your double play.
Ray Searage may be coming out to pound that point home as well. Everybody gathers on the mound. And Dan Iasonia, the home plate umpire, is going out to break it up. Two and 1 the count on Peralta. Tigers have tied it here in the 7th. They have the go-ahead run at second base. Big crowd here again today. 39,971. A good many of them kids. Another kids' day here at Comerica. Two and 2.
Johnny should have recognized the situation himself, because he swung at ball 3 right there.
Watson replaces Correa here in the 7th. And the 2-2. Low. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Scherzer with an outstanding effort today. Career high 15 punch-outs, hoping his team can go ahead here to keep him or make him eligible for a win today. And the 3-2. He lost him. So Peralta takes first base. He's going to bring up Avila. Octavio Dotel warming up in the Detroit bullpen. Meanwhile, they're getting on the horn again. Clint Hurdle is alerting his bullpen. Avila is over 2. Strikeout, ground out. First time these two have met. No history between Watson and Avila. Wave and a miss, 0-1. Each side with 4 hits. The starting pitchers today, Correa and Scherzer, were both really good. Correa had retired 13 of 14 coming into this inning before giving up the double and then the single. He's fouled away. 0-2 on Avila. One and 2.
Did not realize that Watson threw this hard. 95.
Borderline as well. That thing touched the edge of what could have been strike 3. Correa hoping that his bullpen can hold him here. And the 1-2. Fouled off. Meanwhile, Barajas now goes back out to the mound. Young and Peralta, the base runners. We need another base runner so we can get the old triple split going today.
That's right.
One and 2. And he crossed him up. Delman on his way to third is in there. Both runners move up.
Clint Hurdle will play his infield in. He's not going to make it easy for Avila with 1 out and 2 strikes. Don't know what happened here between he and Barajas, but the Tigers caught a break. Oh my goodness.
Pass ball. 2nd and 3rd. And it's a 2-2 count on Avila with the infield in for the Pirates.
Second pass ball of the series for Barajas.
Bouncing ball back up the middle. It's going to get through. A base hit. Let's see if it scores 2. Young is in. Here comes Peralta, and 2 runs are in. Avila with a clutch hit. He put it in play with the drawn-in infield.
Avila really needed this base hit. The infield is playing in, and Watson is tough. He's got a 95-mile-per-hour fastball, a good breaking ball, and Avila just put the ball in play and was rewarded with 2 RBIs, and the outing by Max Scherzer not wasted this afternoon.
Clint Hurdle comes trotting out. And Watson is going to come out of this game. Back to the bullpen we go. We will step aside with the Tigers up by 2.
Half of the 7th inning, and they now lead the Pittsburgh Pirates 4-2. And as soon as this game ends, our coverage continues with Tigers Live. You'll hear from the manager, Jim Leland, and the players. Plus, we'll break down the game, show you all the highlights. Tigers Live immediately after the game here on Fox Sports Detroit.
Well, the 2-run single by Alex Avila will certainly be part of the highlights, including the 15 strikeouts of Max Scherzer as well. New pitcher on is Brad Lincoln for the Pirates.
Comes in with 3 wins and no losses, outstanding earned run average, and the opponent's not doing much this year against Lincoln. The batting average is sub 200 against Brad.
Here's Ryan Rayburn, and he takes strike 1. The Tigers did not score a run for the first 4 innings. They got the home run by Peralta in the 5th, and now a 3 spot here in the 7th. Here's the 0-1. The runner goes. Swing and a miss. No throw. Barajas could not handle the baseball.
Jim is one of the few managers that I can really think of that puts the hit and run on with no balls and 1 strike. Rayburn did not make contact with it, but Avila still able to steal the bag because it wasn't a clean exchange by Rod Barajas. Not many managers put the hit and run on this particular count. No balls, 1 strike. A lot do 1 ball, no strikes.
Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Rayburn is out. And now the top of the order, Don Kelly. Kelly trying to get that extra run in from second base. Don is 0 for 3 in this one.
That is Avila's 2nd stolen base of the year.
It is. He's got blinding speed, you know.
Yes, he does. In his sleep.
That's cold. Kelly looks at strike one. Meanwhile, out of Cleveland, it looks like Miami is taking a 5-1 lead to the top of the 8th. That's good news as the Indians came into play leading the Central Division. Here's the 0-1. 1 ball, 1 strike. Donnie now 1 for 15 on this homestand, but he can deliver a big run here with a base hit. Driven to right field. Avila circles under it. And that is that. Tigers take the lead 4-2. Tigers baseball today presented by Bell Tire. Negro Leagues weekend continues here at the ballpark before the game today. A little bit of a tribute to former Tiger Earl Wilson, who was honored with this year's Detroit Tigers African Legacy Award on a nice ceremony before the game today. Our good friend Willie Horton was part of that as well.
Duck Fister also part of it. Tigers do a wonderful job all weekend. Their 18th annual Negro League weekend started on Friday, Saturday, and then continued today.
Here's some of the particulars on Mr. Wilson. Part of the '68 World Championship team, had an ERA of 2.85 that season and won 22 games in 67. Octavio Dotel is the new pitcher now for Detroit. Clint Barmes leads it off. It'll be Barmes, then Tabata and Walker. Tigers now lead by 2 as we head to the 8th. That's fouled back 0-2. Got some changes defensively. Ryan Rayburn will move out to right field, replacing Bosch, and the new second baseman is Santiago. So Santiago hits in the 6th spot. Bosch's old spot in the lineup. Four to 2 Detroit. That'll go down the left field line. Fair ball. And Barmes will hold up with a leadoff single. That is another hit on the board now. 5 of them for the Pirates. And it brings the tying run to the plate. What do you make of this stat, Rod? The Tigers have 39 strikeouts. Their pitching does in this series. That's the most in a 3-game series all time for the Tigers.
Really?
39. Of course, Max had 15 of them today. Ball outside 1-0.
All time in a 3-game series.
In a 3-game series.
Ever.
And we're talking about the history of the Tigers. 3-game series, that is. Two balls, no strikes on Jose Tabata.
Well, Verlander had what, 12 the other night?
I got to double check, but I think that's pretty close. Yes, he did 12. Pirates as a team had 12 in each of the first 2 games. 2-1 the count on Tabata. Dotel trying to hold this 2-run lead as we play here in the 8th. Benoit would be your closer today. Valverde is still out of action. Not available today. The 2-1. Trying to hold up. Apparently he did. 3-1 on Tabata. High fly ball center field. Don Kelly is on the run. Death Valley out there. 1 gone. Octavio Dotel, when they used the term well-traveled, they created, I think, for Octavio.
Yeah, he's even played for this Pittsburgh Pirates franchise.
Look at all these different teams. The lucky 13 for Dotel. The Pirates just showed up.
Baker's dozen.
Most in Major League history. 1 on, 1 out. Neil Walker, the batter. Little lollipop pickoff throw there by Dotel. Tigers trailed 2-1 until they got 3 in the bottom of the 7th to go up 4-2. It was Prince Fielder that started the rally with a double. Want to know the count. Scherzer also joined a couple of pretty good pitchers. As you look at the bullpen work right now for the Tigers, Koch and Kukkonen. With the 15 strikeouts, Max has the 2nd highest total in interleague history. Schilling and Pedro Martinez 16 strikeouts. And Scherzer 15 in an interleague game. Now the 1-1. 2 balls, 1 strike. McCutchen waiting on deck. Scherzer handled him okay today. Struck him out 3 times. Here's the 2-1. Fly ball. Shallow right field. Rayburn is under it. And Walker is out. 2 away. Gotta get that poll question in here this afternoon. The Ace Hardware Scott's fan poll question. And it is, who is the best under the radar player in the National League? Is it A, McCutchen, B, Josh Johnson, C, Ruiz, or D, Brendan Beachy? You can enter your vote by texting ACE followed by a space and the letter answer to 37338. See the final results post game. Tigers Live. Andrew McCutchen, Josh Johnson, Carlos Ruiz, or Brandon Beachy. Vote now. Here is McCutchen. 3 strikeouts this afternoon after homering twice yesterday. Bouncer right back to the mound off the glove of Dotel, and there will be no play. That'll keep the inning going and put the tying runs on. Here comes Leland.
Dotel looked like he was in good position to field it. Ball just right off the glove. And with McCutchen's speed, no play for Peralta.
E1 on the play. It's going to be it for Dotel. They've got the lefty Alvarez coming up. Lefty Koch coming in. We step aside.
With 2 runners aboard and 2 outs, and Phil Koch is in the pitch. And you can follow the Tigers with the MLB.com at Bat 12 for your iPhone, iPad, Android, and Windows Mobile. Get live audio pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at BAT to 31826 or visit Tigers.com.
Well, the Pirates are still alive. McCutchen reaching, putting 2 men aboard. So Phil Koch comes on now to try and get Pedro Alvarez. Alvarez, a couple of strikeouts and a walk in this game. First pitch sails outside, 1-0.
Lefties hitting .250 this year against Phil. Right-handers above 300.
Alvarez has had a series he would just as soon forget to this point. 0 for 9, 7 of those resulting in strikeouts. But he has an opportunity here to deliver a key hit in the 8th. Koch's 1-0. In there is strike, 1-1.
Right into your living room.
Same result, 1-2. Alvarez finds himself yet again in the hole.
And Phil Koch could go one of 2 ways here. He can elevate the fastball to get a swing and miss, or he can simply go with another well-located breaking ball down in a way to get a strikeout.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Coke comes in, does the job, stops off the mound. Alvarez strikes out for the 3rd time today. Tigers lead. And we want to check out now the pitching matchup coming up when we get to Cleveland, brought to you by the Michigan Office of Highway Safety. It's Rick Porcello and Ubaldo Jimenez.
It looks like Jimenez is continuing to have the same issues with the Indians that he had with the Rockies, and he just can't find the strike zone. 32 walks, wow. 28 strikeouts.
This doesn't seem right, does
it? It does not.
But it's true. 6:30 airtime Tuesday night. We've got a new pitcher now. It's Jared Hughes. Andy Dirks will face him, and a ball outside.
Just about every single guy that comes out of that Pittsburgh Pirates bullpen comes out with really good numbers.
Here's the 1-0 pitch, and it's outside. 2 balls and no strikes. Jared Hughes pitching at Long Beach State, went to high school at Santa Margarita High School in Rancho Santa Margarita, California. Strike call. 2-1. It's my old stomping grounds when I lived out in California.
Is that right?
Yeah, Rancho Santa Margarita. That high school also produced Carson Palmer.
Carson Palmer.
The 2-1. 3 balls, 1 strike.
Sounds like a real wealthy area.
Easy now. Not that wealthy.
Where's it from? Where is it again?
I was hanging out. Rancho Santa Margarita.
Now that sounds like a wealthy area.
The 3-1 is in there. A strike, 3-2. It'll be Dirks, Cabrera, and Fielder here against Hughes. Lifted in the air. Center field, McCutcheon gliding back. Dirks is out. He's 0 for 4 today. 1 gone.
A guy like Andrew must have a ball coming to a place like Comerica Park where he's got that much pasture to roam in.
Again, making it look effortless out there in deep center.
He plays a deep center field, though, for a guy that has the kind of speed that he has. He plays rather deep.
Here's Cabrera. Miguel backs out of there 1-0. Tigers have a chance to win 2 out of 3 in this series. At the very least, they'll bring a 2-run lead into the 9th. Ground ball, third base side. Wicked hop for Harrison. What a play.
He stayed with it. It's one of those balls where you really don't know what to do. Come in, go back. It's got top spin. Give him some credit. He stayed with it, and he was able to put his glove up, and the ball went in his glove before it went into left field.
Only his 6th game this year at third base. He has played a lot of different positions: second, third, short, left, DH. It's a nice play.
When you hit, they will find a spot for you. And Harrison, along with just a couple of other guys, one of the few that have been hitting for Pittsburgh lately.
Fielder tried to check his swing. 2-0 the count. Prince got it started with a bloop double back in the 7th. Tigers went on to score 3 and take the lead. Prince fouls it off. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Pirates in the 9th have Jones, Harrison, and Barajas due up, and they will face Joaquin Benoit. Prince wants time. 2-2 the count. 2 outs. We're in the 8th. Each ball club with 5 hits this afternoon. Rolled foul just outside of the bag. It'll go foul first base side. 2-2 the count. Stays on Prince. That next road trip will take the Tigers through Cleveland on to Minneapolis and then into Boston. Tigers have a 4-game series in Boston.
Back-to-back 3-city trips for the boys.
Yeah, not too many home games in the month of May. That'll start to change. Swing and a miss, and Fielder is gone. 1-2-3 inning for Hughes on our way to the 9th. Trying to wrap this one up. division standings. Cleveland at 23-17, 3.5 up on Chicago. Tigers right now 4 games back. And they're trying to close this one down. The Tigers bring a 2-run lead into the top of the 9th inning. Joaquin Benoit will take over for the Tigers on the hill. Tigers in this series drawing over 124,000 fans.
It's amazing. Joaquin Benoit on to try to get a save here this afternoon. Jose Valverde not available. Still bothered by a tender back.
Garrett Jones and then Harrison and then Barajas. 4-2 Tigers as we go to the 9th.
Getting a little warmer. It's up to 86 degrees, buddy.
It's been going up all day. It was 82 at game time. Swing and a miss, 0-1.
Got to go home with Pat for a long trip.
Pat tomorrow.
No, I have to start today.
Do you?
Yeah. 11 days.
All those fancy clothes you have, you do have to pack early.
Got to make sure I'm coordinated.
0-1 on Garrett Jones. A half-hearted swing there, 0-2. Jones a double and 2 strikeouts. If you missed it earlier, Scherzer struck out 15, a career high today for Detroit.
It would have been a shame had they wasted that effort. And it looks like that effort's not going to be wasted if Benoit's able to handle his business.
"40 strikeouts for Pirates hitters in this series. 40 of them. As we mentioned, the Tigers establishing an all-time record for strikeouts in a 3-game series.
That's an amazing stat due to the fact that this Tigers organization has been in business more than 100 years.
Amazing indeed. And they might add to it here. Ground ball instead to the first baseman. Right there is Prince.
That's big for Benoit because that's one area where he has struggled this year out of the bullpen, and that's retiring the first batter that he sees in any outing. So that's big for him.
2 more to get. Here is Josh Harrison. Every starter today has struck out at least once for the Pirates, except for their leadoff man, Jose Tabata. That's in there, strike 1. One ball, 1 strike on Harrison. He was the 15th and final strikeout today for Max Scherzer. Now the 1-1. Driven down the left field line, hooking. It is a fair ball. Goes to the corner. Extra bases, and Harrison is aboard with a 1-out double.
That ball was just fair.
Third double this year for Harrison. That'll bring the tying run to the plate. And Barajas has already homered in this game. A solo shot against Scherzer back in the 5th. Pirates now have 6 hits. Tigers have 5. Rolled foul as Barajas goes after the first pitch. 0-1. Talking about the fact the Tigers have drawn 124,000 plus for this 3-game series, the largest 3-game series attendance total so far this year. Weather heating up. Interleague play back for 2012. Big crowds. Swing and a miss. 0-2 on Barajas. Benoit has 11 major league saves in his career. He's had a couple in the minor leagues as well. He broke in really as a starter in the Texas organization, but he's filling in for Valverde today, who is still out. Nate McLouth waiting on deck. And the 1-2. Wouldn't chase it. Avila's going to throw to third, and in there is Harrison, who took off immediately and made it safely.
Nice anticipation here by Harrison after he sees the ball down in the dirt. It only trickled about 4 feet to the right of Avila, but Harrison with a decent break able to make it safely to third. And Barajas has done a very nice job working the count back to 2-2 against Benoit, laying off a couple of breaking balls that have been in the dirt.
Wild pitch. Charge to Benoit. And the 2-2. Lifted in the air, center field. Right at Kelly. Runner will tag. Catch is made. And the throw to the plate is a little bit late. Sac fly RBI for Barajas. 4-3 with there are 2 outs. Miami holds on to beat Cleveland 5-3.
Derek Lowe finally lost again.
So the Tigers can gain a game on first base Cleveland before they head to Cleveland. Here's Nate McLouth. Ball 1. Oh for 3, McLouth, 2 strikeouts and a fly ball. Here's the 1-0. 2-0 the count. And the slump for McLouth now has reached 0 for 19. Oh for 7 in this series. Casey McGee waiting on deck. Here's the 2-0. 2-1 on McLouth. Grounded foul. So it's 2-2, and Benoit needs one more strike, and here comes the crowd. 39,971 today on their feet. And the 2-2 pitch. Ground ball foul, first base side. So we'll do it again. Pittsburgh gets a run on a double, a wild pitch, and a sacrifice fly. Again, the 2-2. Got him, strike three. Joaquin Benoit earns the save, and the Tigers win 2 of 3 in the Interlake Series.
He froze McLeod with that Vulcan changeup. He started it up. McLeod gave up on it, and it landed right in the glove of Avila, right around the belt buckle.
So the Tigers win it here this afternoon in comeback fashion. 4-3 your final score. We'll have more from Comerica Park in a moment.